What is up, Bomb Squad? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. So we are back from Mega Week. I am recovered. I had a fantastic Father's Day, and I worked on this thing all weekend. And I came out here with the intention of making videos. I was like, I want to make videos. I'm feeling good. We ordered a bunch of brake parts because I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna put new parts in here. We're not gonna mess around. Life's gonna be good. Well, if you notice, this week's video is late because we were not good, because this freaking thing has just pushed and pushed and tested me to no end. So let me show you what we ended up with. Good news is we have brakes. So spoiler alert, your boy got it done with the help of my wife and my kid, being the brake pump masters every day after work. The brake bleeder extraordinaire out here. Ready, sir? All right. But so we went to Mega Week, and while I was at Mega Week, I was like, you know what? That master, the last one we put on, this front fitting was stripped out. And I made my own little tap and my own stuff. We were under the gun. It was midnight. I'm like, we're just going to try it. If it works, it's meant to be, kind of thing. And, well, it wasn't meant to be because it didn't work. So I ordered a whole new master cylinder, right? Looked exactly the same one, 7/8 bore. And we ordered this guy. So we got a Hearst line lock. I know some of you are like, why do you run line lock? You don't really need to do line lock. You can just do a power brake. Well, if you have a designated race car and you're going to be doing burnouts, like that's kind of what it does. In my brain, it saves a little wear and tear, I would imagine, like on the transmission, on the rear brakes, because you're not trying to overpower the brakes, and the whole drivetrain would be happier, right? Because you're already doing a burnout, you're already beating on it. So I feel like when you do the line lock and you let go of the rear brakes, I feel like it's just a little nicer to the thing. I mean, that's honestly why I do it. And it had it on there, so I was like, God damn it, we're leaving it on there. Anyway, so we got that, right? So, put all that stuff in. Oh, I made my new little fandangle lines. If you'll see, like, we're back to looking nice, right? Instead of, by the time I made those like 4 times, they looked like hell last time. So I got new line, new everything. Put it in, pumping it, nothing, no gravy, no dice. And I basically did it Saturday and Sunday. And then finally, I was like, dude, we got to get these tires out of the way. There has to be something wrong. And I looked and looked and looked, and sure enough, see if I got a picture. When we put all this stuff together, I took it to war, and we were all in a hurry trying to get this thing from a non-running car, putting a motor, drivetrain, everything in, and I wanted to try to pull it on the trailer was the goal. So we slapped this brake kit on, but there's spacers. So I think, you know, somewhere in between putting it on, taking it off, put it all together, we put the thing on, and this caliper was down. And it's not down, it's like flat. So if you looked at it, you'd be like, eh, but it wasn't tilted up a little bit. And that placed the bleeder instead of here, it placed it down, and this wasn't the highest point. So your boy was bleeding air, right? Like, the air was stuck. And I was to the point, because I kind of had a hunch, because it was always the rear brakes were always giving me a fit. I was like, dude, I'm just going to pull these calipers off and then twist it so that that point is up, and then bleed them so that way it gets the air out, because that's what I kind of felt. And then as soon as I looked at it, so we flipped all that around, so now they're correct. And I was able to get a bleed on it yesterday. I think was the first time we had like a bleed. Everything worked. You'd push the pedal and it was there, but it'd go way down, and then if you gave it like 1, it would get kind of good, and then like if you did like 2 or like 3, like 2.5, there'd be brake, and I could sit and hold, and it was good. So then I was like, you know what? So that was Monday. I said, maybe we'll just, the master cylinder volume kind of isn't there, so we'll put a residual valve in. So I put this residual valve in yesterday and bled it again, tried it again, and it felt a little bit better, but it's not the pedal. It's about like 2 pumps, right? But 1 pump I get back to the floor. And it was like, I mean, there's brake, but it went further than I felt comfortable. Like if you go to reach for the brake because you're doing an OS, like, oh no, like you're gonna slam something, you don't want to have to push it and release and push it again, right? Like ABS leg, I guess. So with all that, I was like, you know what? Maybe my buddy Jason's right, because I told him what size master cylinder it was, and he was like, I think it's too small, you don't have the volume. So lo and behold, I was thinking about it more, and the last time I did brakes, where it was all custom stuff, was on this little truck that I had, and I was like, man, I used a smaller brake size because I had manual brakes. But then I realized, you big dummy, it was a dual tandem master because it was that wheel wood setup. So I had a smaller one for the rear and a larger one kind of for the front, but I think the volume fit the calipers, right? As where this is one master cylinder, one size, trying to fill all these calipers. So I went and I bought the master cylinder that you see, which it looks identical to this one. That's a 7/8 and this is a 1-inch. So the boy and I just got done bleeding brakes. Happy to report that we have brakes now. I can finally move on from the saga of brakes. It has been Groundhog Day, and I've been getting to the point where I'm like, it was getting hard. I mean, the brakes weren't. It was getting hard to work on this freaking thing. That's all I know. So I feel good about it now. When I push it one time, it'll go way down, and it stays kind of off the floor, but that's like full brake. And then if I just let up like a little bit and push it again, I mean, it's right there. So I feel like, and again, I haven't driven or anything. I'm just going by what the pedal, like how hard it's fighting me. For all I know, I mean, I could push it down and a little bit of pressure on the pedal could actually stop the car, right? So I'm applying panic braking. So I'm assuming the brakes are good now because, like I said, I have a pedal, I have some feedback. It is a 1-inch master, so you have to put more force into it to stop the car. But feeling good about it. I went through a lot of master cylinders. If anybody needs a good used, not even used, they were put in the car, I pumped some brakes, and they didn't work. But the problem is I have to cut these things. I have to get them cut to make them fit. So essentially, I can't return these. So I have that one, and I have some other ones. I think I'll just take them to swap meet or something. But that's it. So now we have brakes. So we can kind of put stuff back together, figure life out. I don't know what I'm gonna do with myself moving forward. I'm actually gonna have to figure out what to work on at this point because I've been working on brakes before I left and then since I got back. But I digress. I am super excited. Another thing too, we'll just round this video up for those of you that are watching because you're probably excited. I showed this on a short, right? Bam. I showed this guy. I'll give you guys a sneak peek. So I had somebody on here too say that they didn't want to see product shilling. Well, let me tell you this. This is not product shilling. This is called saving you guys a bunch of time because I sat up forever trying to decide the best way to put an audio system in here. I thought that the soundbar was an option. My buddy Joe has that in his Chevelle. I had that in here. I sold it to raise some funds because I was running out of money when I was getting this thing worked on. So I'm like, that thing needs to go. But I didn't like that option. And I was like, you know what? I want controls on the front. The soundbar was behind me so I could hear it. But then the controls are behind you and you're driving this way. Not very great when you're trying to Bluetooth and connect stuff. Let's just leave it at that. So I found this thing. This is a Bluetooth amplifier. But the awesome part, look at this freaking thing. The awesome part about it is this. I don't really care about the amp portion as much. We're not trying to, set the world on fire or nothing. But look at this piece is freaking rad, right? And it was cheap. I'm sure the price will go up. And it's definitely not 500 watts. But this was the selling point. This whole thing right here. Bam. Look at that. It glows. I probably put it on the roll bar or find a spot for it. It's nice soft touch. Bam, bam, bam. And then you can do your modes. Life is going to be gravy. So I literally bought it for this. There was one that I was looking at that had a little rotary knob, and I was sold on that, but then I realized it was like a selector. Like I thought it was volume, because what I really wanted is to whip volume, right? You just turn it on or off. But the little soft touch volume guy is going to have to do, I guess, for now. Hopefully, I think there was a pause button. Yeah. So if you look at it, the pause. So then, when you're rocking it, you just push that one so it shuts up. So when you're like, oh, what's that sound? Is my car coming apart? You can hit pause. And then when you realize it's not your car, you hit play and you're back to jamming. But definitely not shilling products. I'm not even going to give you guys links or whatever. I'll just tell you that it was an Amazon deal. I'm not trying to sell these things to anybody. I have no idea if it's worth the crap or not. But I just want music in there. I don't really care the sound quality, audiophile stuff. The whole car whistles and makes a bunch of noise or whatever. And then another dude was like, all you need is the sound of the motor. Well, let me tell you, when you're in a car for 12 hours, 15 hours, maybe 23 if you get lucky like I was at one day. That was one day in this thing. It helps to kind of jam some tunes and stuff and kind of keep you awake. And it definitely adds to the experience. And the whole point of drag and drive, which I feel like everybody's getting away from it. Matt Frost made a comment. is to drive the car. It's not just drag racing. There's a lot of driving involved, so you have to have a car that you kind of actually enjoy driving, right? It's not all about going fast. It's about going fast in your street car. And I want amenities, so we're doing that. And we need air conditioning, and then life is going to be good. I got spoiled by Joe. We had tunes, we had AC. Life was way better in that car, and it wasn't smoking hot. Because it was smoking hot, like it was that one time when I wanted to pass out. I was dumping water bottles on my head, and you're stuck in Dallas traffic in the middle of the day. That is no bueno. So AC is a must, and then we will round this out. So I'm gonna buy the cheapy speakers. This is the amplifier head unit. And then I'm even gonna, I measured up, I think I can fit a cheapy little sub, and I'm just gonna get one that's fairly cheap, so if it gets wrecked or wet or ruined or somebody steals it at the track or whatever, I don't really care. That's why I don't want like a kicker or anything nice. And I'm just gonna put like a little handle strap on it, so we can just drop it in there, pull it out when it's race time, so I don't have a sub, you know, flopping around when I'm doing 150 miles an hour. So that is that. I will make a video. I'll start collecting more parts just to let you guys know that I will make that video. And then I'm gonna decide what to do with myself. I'm just gonna kind of relish in this victory that I have brakes, and then pick up where I left off, because honestly I forgot where the hell I was, because I got stopped out, defeated, and then we've been on Groundhog Day. So damn, it feels good to not be in Groundhog Day anymore. You guys know what to do. Thank you for cheering me on, following along. We'll start making some videos. Let's get this thing on the road. Till next time, I'm out.
Rolling through the streets, yeah, I'm the king of the block. Got that dragon dry style, make your whole city rock. Maliboom gangster, with a touch of finesse. I'm burning rubber, raising hell, feel the heat, no stress. Turbo LS, under the hood, I'm moving quick. Nicky tires grip the road, make them stick like a trick. She, sloppy tune, we got a hit in 08. In the war performance parts all over the place. The bomb squad's